I lay paralyzed in the old attic room of my family's farmhouse, my limbs heavy as lead, my thoughts racing in a silent storm while my breath came in shallow whispers. I couldn't twitch a muscle, couldn't call out for help. All I could do was strain to hear the creaks in the wooden floorboards outside. Steps approached. MEASU or ED in unhurried. The latch didn't fully catch, leaving the door cracked just enough for shadows to play tricks. From the dim corridor, my brother's voice drifted in, low and composed. Make it seem like an accident. A guy I'd never laid eyes on slipped inside, bending close to feel for my heartbeat. Right then, a chilling dread hit me harder than any pain. This wasn't fate closing in, it was something orchestrated. And he wasn't here to pull me back from the edge. I lay there in that musty space, trapped in my own skin, every inch of me weighing a ton like I'd been cut off from the controls. Sounds sharpened around me, those cautious treads in the hall, the door hanging open a sliver. My brother's tone cut through again, steady as ever. Make it seem like an accident. The intruder hovered by my side, pressing fingers to my wrist as if it was just another day at the office. That's when the pieces slammed together. This was no mishap, and the real target wasn't some random twist of luck. It was my own blood, plotting to wipe me out of the picture. I'm Emily, 35 now, and I've spent years mastering the art of fading into the background without budging an inch. These days, I call Oregon home, miles from that weathered place in rural Indiana where I was raised. I crunch code as a lead software developer at steady work that values logic and detail over drama. Algorithms don't pick sides. They just reveal what's hidden if you dig deep enough. My folks, they were all about appearances. Picture a tidy homestead on a sleepy Midwest lane, walls dotted with faded snapshots, gatherings filled with the scent of pot roast and overbaked biscuits. Drop by occasionally, and it'd seem picture perfect, but scratch the surface. And roles where rigid mind was always the afterthought. Dad, Harlan, prized order over chit-chat, dishing out decrees like gospel. Mom, Vivian, had figured out ages ago that quiet kept the storms at bay. And my kid brother, Kyle, he was a star attraction, bold, magnetic, always stealing the spotlight. As a girl, I caught on quick that accolades weren't doled out fair. Kyle's wins were family triumphs, mine got shrugs, chalked up to flukes or swept aside. The one soul who truly got me was Gran Beatrice. She pulled me aside in the cozy kitchen nook after the others wandered off, pushing a warm cup my way with a wink. You see the threads others miss, kiddo. Her passing left a void that chilled the whole place. At the service, I caught Dad's expression stone cold, almost eased, watching his jaw unclench like a burden lifted. Back then, I convinced myself sorrow wore different masks. Just before she went, Gran pressed a weathered envelope into my hands. Keep this from your father, she murmured. It'll make sense when you're standing solo. I stashed it away, figuring it was just old keepsakes, nothing heavy. Fast forward, when Mom twisted her ankle bad, I headed back to Indiana for a stretch 10 days off. Plenty to fall into familiar ruts like tidying up and running errands without fanfare. Right before packing, a notice popped up about some shady transactions, big sums I didn't recognize. I shrugged it off as a glitch. If only I probed deeper. That was the first hint of a web my kin had spun in secret. Those initial days in the homestead dragged like an unwelcome rewind. I'd rise at dawn for fresh brew. Mom hardly sipped, ease her to the recliner, swap out wraps, line up her meds in tidy compartments. Dad loomed in thresholds, barking orders instead of lending a hand. Kyle swung by once or twice, suited up like he had bigger fish to fry, snapping pics with Mom prop just so. Grin perfect for the feed. Helping out big time, his caption read, poof, gone in 15 flat. Nobody batted an eye. Status quo. Come the third evening, weirdness burrowed into my core. That place had a knack for sapping your spark bit by bit, like a drip you ignore till the bucket overflows. As dusk settled, Kyle leaned in my doorway with a steaming cup. You've been pulling double duty, he said, his voice unusually gentle after all this time. This'll knock you out cold. The brew had a subtle herbal tang, lavender perhaps, or a mimic. I paused a beat, feeling silly for the doubt flickering. He was family after all. This was where I grew up. I sipped it down in under 40 minutes. My feet turned to jelly first, not flashy, just this odd drag as if my nerves had clocked out. I pushed to rise and crumpled short of the quilt's hem, arms wet, numb necks, digits tingling away. Terror spiked, but my lips stayed sealed, wide awake, caged inside. Peering through the door's thin gap, a strip of lamplight flickered, a figure paused, lingered. Kyle's words hung soft but firm, stick to what Pa laid out. The door nudged wider, but not fully. Boots shuffled in, he treaded light, no traces wanted. Couldn't swivel my gaze, but the bed sank nearby, cool touch on my throat, gauging life signs. Pulses faint, he grumbled, wasn't meant to floor her like this. My gut twisted, hush up. Kyle hissed, she'll blank it all out. I ached to yell, to thrash, but no, I fixed on the rafters overhead, a knot I'd stared at since I was 10. Dad figured this seals it, Kyle went on. Once the review rolls around, it'll be moot, review. That term pierced the haze like a blade. This wasn't kindness or worry, it was calculated. The stranger wavered. Feels off kilter. You're in it now, Kyle pressed. Just stage it right. They slipped out, the latch snaking quiet. In the hush that followed, a fire sparked within me. This went beyond old grudges or oversight. It was intentional. My own weren't shielding me, they aimed to bury me. Whatever that looming review meant, one fact shone clear: linger till dawn. And I'd never walk free on my terms. The hours warped after they vanished. Seconds dragging eternal, stretches blurring seamless, the haze ebbed gradual from my toes. Outward a prickly buzz, sharp stings I embraced as revival. Eyes shut tight, breaths measured slow. Had to sell the act, keep them fooled. Later, the hinge groaned soft, steps lighter now. Kyle's cologne hit first, then his pause. Assessing, still down, he muttered, retreating with a click, certain he was clear. I cracked my lids. The space glowed faint from moonlight sneaking past. Frayed blinds, my frame ached like it had been pummeled, but motion returned, shaky. Spotting it then, tucked under the side table, a slim business card gleamed white. I eased down. Knees wobbling, snagged it with fumbling grip. Contact info, a professional frills. A freelance consultant, adrenaline surged, this time sharp and focused. Kyle played follower, not mastermind. Schemes weren't his style. Another pulled strings. Before I could mull deeper, Dad's bark echoed down the hall. Crisp and decisive, night owl mode on. Wrapped up, he probed. Beat, solid, reviews. Close, easier till then, ease bile rose. This spanned beyond one slip-up docs, schedules, a path where my voice got muzzled. I bided till silence reigned. Layering clothes felt like waiting molasses, each rustle boomed. Planks groaned defiant, I ghosted by their quarters. Kyle snores. Steady beyond his panel. Front exit parted with a whisper. Chill night air slapped awake. I kept moving to my ride, engine turning over after 20 miles when tremors eased. Pulled off at a dingy lot. Motor killed, inhaling through lingering mist, card in hand. I waited. Dialing screamed risk, ignoring. Worse, it buzzed for rings before a voice. Sleepy then sharp on my intro. You poked around my space, I accused. Felt my vitals, quiet stretched. You're up, he noted, not the plan. Caught it all. I shot back. Brother. Dad, that review, weightier silence. Hear me out, he urged, this ain't in squabbles. It's official, wheels turning. I squeezed my eyes. I clung to shadows for safety forever. That he cracked it open, fading, made me prime prey. Reclaiming my path, silence shattered for good. Liam laid it bare over diner brew that dawn in Oregon. Your old man's pushing a competency level. He explained, clears it, he calls shots on your assets, choices, even digs. I eyed the vapor curling up. Basis, fragile mind, reckless spending. Nearly snorted, close. Been months crafting proof, he added. Transfers, dead spun in your name. Cash shuffled to paint you unraveling, and Kyle? I pressed. He paused, thinks he's guarding the nest. Bought Dad's fake ledger's hook line. Not in my throat, not pity, just insight. Liam pushed over a dossier. Deeper layers, but to halt it, law muscle now. Enter Carla Ruiz, no fluff. She grilled surgically, jotting sans glance, recounting that attic ordeal. Her brow furrowed subtle. More than cash grabs, she stated. Power play, clocks ticking. When's a session? Wednesday. I replied, she glanced at time. We hustle, back. Home that PM, I tore into Grand's envelope, nested, crisp pages and a note. Edges time worn. Her script wobbly yet hers. Detailed Dad's post-passing tweaks. Funds meant for me. Dread heap bulldoze unchecked. Below. Her true estate plan. Carla scanned thrice, breathed deep. Game changer by Tuesday Eve. We pieced a tale Dad never saw coming. Trails of funds, links. To him, chronology shredding his yarn. Wednesday AM. I strode into chambers in a charcoal blazer I'd shelved forever. Feeling armored at last. Dad perched smug. Limb slung casual like kingpin. Mom flanked him. Palms clasped. Gaze forward. Kyle absent. Harlan clocked me, mask slipping raw. You don't belong, he hissed low as I brushed by. No retort. Settled by Carla. Palm steady on oak. Proceedings kicked as he banked. His rep spun tales of worry, bonds. A wayward offspring. Files slid up, cherry-picked neat. Carla rose calm. No flare, no haste. Flagged bogus locale as mine. Skipped alerts, odd fiscal dances, dropped terms. Distortion, coercion, deceit. Bench's vibe shifted. She urged vetting Grand's directive, entering it. Clarify cash he pinned on me. Hers by right. Then my cue. Fielded queries crisp. Gig. Finances. Nest egg, grip on life, assessor puzzled. Why? File this, hush foul. Bench acts the evil instant. Mandated probe into origins. Harlan bolted upright. Mix up. Plant it. Bench ordered. Saw his facade crack. Not penalty dread. Spotlight terror. Possession. Kyle cornered me. Ashen, you twisted it, he accused. Let us assume. Nah. I countered. Quit fixing your spins, mouth. Agape. Then shut. First wobble in his playbook. Weeks on. Facts drip steady. Sleuths mapped out. Bogus signs. Ties to dad. His finger points. Mirrors. Indictment dropped. No ring. No sorry. Claimed I orchestrated the flip at judgment. He piped my girls off kilter. Always envious. Bench absorbed. Cool reply. Proof says nah. Term hefty. Kyle's turn. Roll noted. Misled angle. Community watch. Therapy mandated. Post. He neared. Rims pink. Clueless. He breathed. Thought aiding. You never checked, I said. Counts. Nodded. Truth thinking. Mom. Mute. Her quiet. No shield now echo. Solo outside. Crisp fall bite. Brace for wind rush. Landed firm instead. That crack didn't do me. Unmasked. Them. First stride visible. Unchained. Sessions wake glided soft like earth sawing post gasp. Probe played as trails dictated. Dad spin freight on docks, then docket. Dough he blamed me for? His vaults. Fakes verified. Trend glaring. Verdict on misty dawn. Stern to tag it felony pure. As they cuffed him off. No glance my way. Hit me. Never truly did. Kyle's fate lighter. Oversight. Sessions. Reckoning sands white. Outside later. Diminished. Certainty loaned from dad stripped. Apologized. Bought the sincerity. Didn't rewind us. Mom ditched the shell she burrowed decades. Hush no haven tagged along elsewhere. Back to Oregon. Snagged a cozy spot by the coast. Dawn's pure, real. Dose sands bolting dread. Fair play no high solid turf unyankable. Long held mute equals secure mistake. Can earn no buy on grip. Mute erase. Bonds not obedient stamps. Thriving no sin if you've felt cracked. Thankless. Ghosted for self-guard. Trust real deal. If this hit home. Drop thoughts below. Hit follow for more where right prevails.